Hi and welcome to your weekly readings, but before we start, let me tell you there will be a contest going on. This is as a token of my appreciation to everybody who is supporting this channel, who subscribed and who liked, and anybody who will be subscribing and liking during this week. So all you need to do is, if you are not subscribed already, subscribe and like. And for those who already subscribed, you will also need to just leave your comment in the comment box. So these people will enter the draw automatically for a free reading. The draw is going to be on the 14th of February. And what you're getting is a 10-card reading Celtic Cross with clarifiers. It's a full reading on one issue. And it is $75 American value. So take advantage of it again. If you're not a subscriber, please become one, because then you're going to see all these new videos coming in your box. If you already are, then you just have to leave a note. So new subscribers, subscribe, like, and leave a note. All subscribers, just leave a note that you want to become a part of the contest. So, thank you very much, and good luck to everybody. Hi Sag, and welcome to your weekly Taroscope. Okay, without much further ado, let me see what's in the cards for you this upcoming week. You Sag have the most visited monthly horoscope, and I would love to see your actual comments on it and to see what you think. I also would like to hear your comments to how do I improve these readings. I'm still new and I'm still learning how to best approach recording and everything, but let me deal with that part. Unless something really bothers you in my recording, what I really want to hear from you is like what you would like to see in tarot reading. I don't know, maybe from one reader you've seen one thing, from another one that one, and I just would like to see how can I serve you to the best of my abilities. So your comments are more than welcome. So if you're actually applying for this contest and are putting your note, please leave the note as well with your suggestions, and it will be greatly appreciated. Okay, Sag, February 1st to February 8th. February 1st to February 8th. Let's do this one. Good shuffle. February 1st to February 8th. Oh, Sad, what's going on with you? The cards are not jumping. It means like you're really holding something really. That's not a good sign. Okay. Either two. So I think that was inverted. Even though I'm reading these cards only upward, I said I'm going to start reading them like both. So actually, let this be a start. So Sag. Week. First week of February 2017. Sag. Okay, here we are. Oh, we have different flavors over here. And the bottom card. Whoa. Okay, don't get scared. And this is upside down as well. So the bottom card is the worst card in the deck. Upside down has much more sedated meaning. It means that a major issue or major disaster have been averted. But you still were aware of it, and you still were aware what could be happening your way. From the past reading, Sag, you really didn't have a good time in quite a while. I would say that you've been dealing with issues for, maybe even since October, giving the last clients that I had, because, I just joined this channel just a few days ago. But Sag, and I think Scorpio and Aquarius were the signs that had the most issues in the past while. And I don't know how this relates to your life. Maybe you have all the signs and kind of like you're intermingling together, or this is just each sign has their own individual kind of issues. So in your case, you have been facing decisions for a while, and you were not able to make them. You just simply, you've been going from depressed to arrogant state and saying this is a great decision, and then you were feeling really sad because you were going through major changes, and you have lost people, and you were also involved, some of you were involved with three-party situation. And keep in mind that this general reading is really hard because I'm addressing here a huge amount of people. So every 12th person is a Sagittarius. And so that's why a private reading are really, really good. So look up my website. I do have a Valentine's special. And even better yet, also get yourself in the contest for a free reading. But I do advise like taking advantage of this 10 card plus clarifiers kind of spread, because it's a really good deal right now. And that way, I kind of customize it to your basically vibration, to your name, to your birthday, to basically your time of birth. Like the more details you can tell me, the better. So let's go back to this general reading. So the first card came out as a Sky Kitten. Sky Kitten would be Page of Swords. And, you know, if you look at the upright, this is the person who, you know, who likes to play, kind of like open to new experiences, like a really, really vigorous. And unfortunately, while doing that, kind of like not paying attention, of stepping on the flowers. And this flower didn't get drawn here like just by mistake. It was basically something that people do, and they step on you without really realizing they do it. So these are kind of blunt people and kind of like really open, and hence you cannot really blame them because they really tell you what they feel and how they feel about it. And you know, you find out things in moments that they don't kind of beat around the bush, but at the same time you feel that they are not your best friends because you wanted that information being delivered to you kind of like differently. So, you know, in this kind of thing, this can kind of indicate somebody who could be obsessed with you, somebody who even spies on you. I don't know, like maybe checking your Facebook, checking your LinkedIn profile, and kind of like even doing some underhanded kind of things. So just be very careful with your passwords and be very careful with your words so things would not be interpreted this way. But this could be that person that you still had in the past. So Sag, if you were the one who kind of like did have two people on the leash, and I think, in my opinion, this is why some of you weren't happy, because you didn't want to make a choice between the two people. But really, this is not a situation that is like triangles are not a good situation. If people love you, they will not want to be in a triangle. And if they stay because they feel codependent, you will know that. So you were choosing choices. I think one was a hard choice and one was like a reliable choice, and you were not able to make it. Well, it's kind of interesting because now this week you have the World card. It looks like you're approaching to the end of the cycle. You are soon going to make this choice because look, your life got so turbulent. You kind of like, because of you not making choice, somebody could have made a choice for you, and maybe kind of like that took you by surprise. And kind of like last week you had death, which was kind of like something has died to be reborn. So this is like maybe you're dealing with the leftovers of the circumstances. Maybe what you are left with made you realize that what you had was really important to you. You know, we know how meaningful something was to us after it's gone, and the reason for that is like because we take things for granted, and it's maybe something we have to remind ourselves every day, you know, that you're grateful for things that you have, and you did have grace last week. So it's kind of like continuing that lesson from the last week. This week you are accomplishing, you're finishing the cycle. World, you know, means, like again, I don't know if it's this way or this way, and I hope it's this way because this means it's the end of the road. You kind of like finish that book, you know, the ending, and it is, everything has been said, and you know, it is time to move on. If you're in this way, and this actually very likely could be, in fact, I even for some reason feel that some of you, this can be this way, there's like still some kind of energy going on, and this could be like between you and maybe that partner who has left and who created turbulence in your heart or in your life. And there is like, you're connected, but look, each of you are looking the other way. You're not together. Breakup did happen. Breakup did happen. And yet, you know, you both probably wonder how nice it was when you were together. So I think why this makes it very hard is like that the person or situation was kind of karmic for you, and it was a person who actually would work for you really well, but you know, it was either maybe not a good time or not a good circumstances, or it was that third party, that because of that third party you couldn't do anything. I know, for example, some of you could be married, or you've been dealing with a married person who maybe wanted to get divorced, but you know, the fact that they're still dealing with their ex, that this ex is still around, was maybe something you couldn't handle, or you're the one who is going through divorce, and you know, that other person couldn't handle you being with the ex. And it's a very tricky situation. Some of you have children, and there are some relationships that are really hard to leave behind, and it takes time to do it. But if you're in a situation where two people are involved, it's kind of like really hard to make everybody happy. And the decision basically that you had to make, probably that you didn't make, is who is more important. And you didn't make these decisions, so things started to tumble around you because there were no firm grounds. So you can imagine how the new person felt in your life, or how you felt if you were like kind of like depending on somebody else's decision. Nobody likes to be on the receiving end. Nobody should have that power over us. And unfortunately, the only basic decision we can do if somebody is kind of like having that, you know, attitude is like, we can walk away. And you know, that's what happened. And it looks like here somebody walked away with lots of bad words, and you know, now you're fully aware of that. And why I feel that this is this way is like, you're hurt. You were feeling it. You were doing such just decision, or whoever that person was in your life felt, you know, they were doing the best for everybody involved, but that was not the case. And this tells me that you are getting to the point of grounding yourself, being loyal, being reliable, starting to enjoy life again, enjoying the nice things, good things. You know, here, this can indicate overindulgence. And sometimes we do that when we are unhappy. So if the cards are like this, that will be kind of, okay, I'm still dealing with it, I'm overindulging, and I don't really care what anybody thinks, kind of like these bad things happen to me. But you know, that's a kind of like very young attitude. That will be attitude of this kitten, kind of like, I don't care what kind of little flower I step on. So I think it's time to kind of like be more mature and understand that even if the person walked away from your life, the new beginning is going to start. So it's up to you if at this point you want to kind of correct things from the past. If the person left your life, then it's time to communicate, and not to communicate in a rough way, kind of like soften it. And this kind of like king is a king with goodies, and if you want to communicate, that should be probably in a very kind of like fair way, and finally reaching this decision, finally learning for yourself which is the path you want to take, because in this case it's not going to be two more people or two decisions. Or if there is nobody else, which luckily isn't, you know, you're going to embark on a completely new path starting this week, and which is good. Like when you're cutting through all these bad things that happen, and kind of like, let's make it over here. We will see what your runes say, and you know, how far are you from getting out of trouble, or how is this connected to it, because right now it doesn't tell a full story. It's just like these three tell me one story, but this tells me new story. So I don't know, let me actually pull one more card to see why is this Earth King over here. Like a reliable person, I don't know, are you turning into this reliable person, or you are like expecting this reliable person? Oops, I have two jumpers. Actually, third jumper also happened. So this is the story over here. You got Sky Tome, you got Earth Tome, and you got 10 of C inverted. Interesting. Again, we are back to communication. Sky Tone, And sky kitten, right? Look at that. Communication. But this time is upright. This time is correct. It's a little bit rushed. Like, I mean, sky kind of clan keys are very, very fast. They are sort of like chosen. And this one is Tom. So this one is like in a full power. So this is you. Like you want to become this reliable thing, and maybe you want to fix it, but you might want to, like, you will do it really fast. Either that, you're going to do it very fast, you're going to come rushing, or you might actually be rough about it and kind of like, this would be like, I mean, Knight of Swords. Somebody really waving the sword, and you know that sword sometimes cuts things that is not supposed to. So, but it's coming back from that to more earthy energy, to back to that Earth King. So it might be that you're a little bit afraid that, you know, you have lost someone, and you're trying to go back rushing to them, and you know, just be very careful that you catch them, but you don't kill them in the process. Because if you were the party that wronged somebody, they might be hurt party. But if you were the hurt party, you also don't want somebody coming to you in a rough way. But if somebody comes to you kind of like with bad words, then, you know, I want you to understand that right now, like, they're just really, really afraid of losing you. Or if this is a new person in your life, just give them a chance to really see who they are, who they evolve to. Because look, actually they're evolving really nicely. We have like 2 Toms over here. They're 2 Knights. Knights, you know, show up in battle just because of show of force. They're really not there to fight. They're really there to show you the possibilities. So what are the possibilities? Here is the communication. It's a sword, it's an idea thing, and earth is like the earthy pleasure is taking care of things. So right now, it almost looks to me that, you know, I don't know if you were going through divorce, or if you were breaking up with a partner, if that was a 3-way situation, but it could be that whole issue you had was around the kids. And, you know, you were putting kids first. And frankly, as a life coach, as somebody who has background in psychology, I cannot start telling you how wrong that is. If you have a new person in your life, telling this new person, well, my kids come first, you know, is this person supposed to be the second fiddle in your life all their lives? That's not the case. You know, if you bring somebody new and you decide this is the person you want in your life, then everybody's equally important. If you put somebody first, you're never going to have that equal, you know, faith. You're never going to be given this chance that you should be given. So, you know, you have to work on that to see what kind of issues, you know, want. And in the end, it was sort of like the thing, you're striving to that kind of harmony, you're striving to get there. You see, in the upward motion, 10 of C is like so nice. It's like so, you know, harmony, the family and everything is pulled together. But this is not there, and you're striving to get there. You're striving to kind of like accomplish that harmony, but right now it is not there. So taking care of your loved one is a great thing. You definitely have to do that, and you have to take care of your kids if that's the case. But at the same time, you have to learn how to do it. The other people have their own lives. They met you at some point in their life, and they kind of like have their own thing. You are not supposed to put, you know, yeah, you're supposed to put yourself first, but to say and expect from somebody to put you first is extremely selfish. And Sag, I'm sorry to say that, sometimes you can be so self-oriented that you somehow feel that you deserve that. Like, I mean, you are that proverbial king of wands that is very charismatic, and somehow you think that people should put you first. But think about it. You know, first of all, if you don't put yourself first, you cannot be productive, and you will be just a doormat. So you actually do not want people who put you first, because then you're not getting an equal partner. And you have to resolve that in you, that demand, because that can be actually very abusive. And you know, you basically do want somebody who wants your best interest, but also in your best interest sometimes is that person tells you things that are not good in you, because we are not perfect. And you know, in particular, this particular case, you see, if this is you, if this is who you really are, and which you are loyal and proud, and you like good things in life, you know, then, you know, for somebody to judge you just because you're fast and just because, you know, want to get to the point of the matter, would feel harsh, right? So, but if the person understands that, if the person kind of like tells you, hey, that was pretty harsh, that's much better than just like, going with it and building resentment. So like somebody telling you, hey, can we improve our communication? And then, oh, well, no, this is what I meant. And you will be much better off becoming able to be nurturing and loving, and then basically creating this harmony, that you want to do. Okay, Sag, overall, this is all very good, I would say. You are kind of like making strides to get out of the bad situation. And I would say, the moral of the story is like first positive steps forward. And now, your rune reading. Alright, Sag, I'm really interested to see this runes because runes give me a higher insight and they show me how these cards glued together. Because it looks like you're on a growing kind of thing, like you're a fire child. Sag is a fire sign, and fire is really charismatic. They move very forward, kind of like they burn things around them and they don't look back. So, at some point in life we become, we just kind of gain more maturity, we kind of accumulate things in life. We have wife, husband, kids, or we have a partner, and now there are other people in our life that depend on us. They kind of like want to be around us. So, we have to build the other parts of our personality. So when I pull runes, it kind of gives me the overall feeling on, if the emphasis was placed in a proper way. So, okay, so let's see. What is your rune? Whoa. Last week you had a rule of Runyo. That's something that kind of like was falling in love, something that would happen between 3 days and 3 weeks. So this still could be in the process. Now, interesting enough, you see, I told you, my reading, like tarot always tells, oh my God, like, I'm a life coach by profession. My background is psychology, and my clients come to me and they tell me, I don't know, I want to lose weight, or, like I want to get a job, or, I need to be less lackadaisical, or like you need to be more pragmatic. And so I set pragmatic steps for them how to get there. And so kind of follow them week after week. And when I introduce tarot, and maybe I should actually record a little bit about me so you can get more information. And I have PhD in psychology, so I use tarot cards as a tool to give me the insight. And I don't use it as a superstition. I don't believe in hearing messages or anything like that, because cards are visual communication. And if you've seen the movie Arrival, this is like so much to the point. This is just like a visual language to me. And when a client is like shuffling those cards, subconscious is really working, and like they always tell the truth. I don't know how, but they work. And that's all that matters to me, that they work. So basically this is the rune of, what did I say? Yeah, that's the rune of danger. Why did I think it's the rune of progress? And like when you see this, it's like it's not as bad as it sounds. Kind of like, it does kind of like warn you about misstep. And this is what basically we were talking about here already. And like the key concept is like it's the rune of ice and cold. And sort of like it does look like a popsicle icicle, so it's appropriate, and it kind of relates to the month of January and February, which is kind of like also a cold snow moon. And symbolism of Isa extends just beyond a single icicle, and that kind of represents the snow and ice in all forms. And it's maybe the most descriptive comparison would be with glaciers, prehistoric glaciers, which we are having less and less of them. But let's not go into political thing. Like, so glaciers were carving out, the forms of the Norwegian fjords, and kind of like creating the kind of like how the land was shaped. So just you can imagine the power of this rune. And the states of cold and numbness, and like it's very likely that after what you have been through and doing this lots of contemplation, that you kind of like feel that somebody's giving you a cold shoulder. this relates to number 7, and again we are going 7 days, 7 weeks, and 7 months, and this actually, you can even indicate 7 years. So, you know, there is no upright or downward, it's the same way both ways. So hence it only has one meaning, and it's obviously prominent position here since we actually have only way. It says again, the patience is, you know, you like not only becomes a virtue but a necessity. So talking about, you know, tarot cards being always right, did we not talk about it, that, you know, you're trying to build yourself somebody new, or you will be able to understand somebody better, and you have to be patient even if they do something completely out of character, something completely insensitive, they step on your toes, you know, or they just like mess up. So you really have to be patient, because the power of this rune, as the rune is unstoppable, so it's extremely powerful. This is just like a glacier. Just imagine glacier, you're watching a glacier going down, and there's nothing and nobody, no power on this world that would just jump and be able to stop it. So, but fortunately, you know, it also possesses the glacier's lack of speed. So things will be evolving slower. If this appears, you know, as an answer to, you know, a certain kind of things that you're going through, or you're looking for a solution, the answer tends to be positive, affirmative, and since there's no inverted meaning, like, but also the events are going to take their own sweet time, which also here, like, you are like evolving into something else. You're this glacier. I feel like this kind of really refers to you. And it's kind of like you kind of did see a need for change, and what basically is happening over here, because you're going into this earth energy, and like fire usually burns earth, but like you have a need for being grounded over here, because that's a little bit of sky energy, and like we know what happens when you blow air on a fire, it just gets bigger, you know. So this is really good. It's going to be slower. It's going to slow you down. Maybe you need really time to think through it, and, you know, and this can also indicate worry, especially if a question indicates relationship. As I said, you know, I kind of see that this is where you're striving to, you know, this kind of like in the past readings was lots of relationship, and, you know, kind of like it kind of cools optimism, and is going through an icy phase. You've been dealing through it, but like from what I'm seeing in these cards, like you are right now going in action, because for such a long time, for 2-3 months or 4 months, you have been, you know, inactive, and just things were happening to you, and you were not able or not willing to take action. And like now, it basically says that this can be uncomfortable time, and there'll be delays and frustration, but this also can be, you know, blessing in disguise, because your desires will slowly evolve over this period. So this can, you know, kind of even show respite, sort of like refuge from emotional turmoil. And so basically the lesson here would be to tread carefully, you know, and that basically means, is going back to this card, you know, it kind of like you're walking through uncharted waters right now. You're rebuilding yourself to something new. You're repairing things that have been broken. This was foundation. Whatever happened, it was not built on the right foundation. If you're going back to your old partner, and indications are there, like look at here, you have like communication cards, like I mean, Knight and Page would be communication cards. 10 is also end of the cycle. This is end of the cycle. I mean, this kind of like you're still stuck. You know, there is still that energy going on, so you either have to decide to let go of it, or to reinvent yourself so you can actually work better with whoever was there in the past. Just be careful not to be hasty, because it will just lead to more frustration, and you know, when you're hasty, you can lose your footing and slip. So this rune really nicely glued this, and I'm sorry that I don't have like, I mean, some better news for you, but considering what you have been going through, I think this is not bad. You're like building, and you're building something solid. You just don't want things to be placed on the sort of like false grounds, because, you know, you like the love, but you would like this love to last. So dear Sag, please give me your comments and enter the competition for free reading, and I'll talk to you next week. Sag, one more thing I forgot to mention. I published the video that basically is a meditation about love. I suggest you do that because it's going to fine-tune you, maybe even for the people who are not looking for soulmate. It basically is based on specific soul radio vibrations that are fine-tuning you, and you're removing kind of like bad parts. So this kind of like can speed up all this kind of development, and I suggest this to be your homework. So good luck, and again, see you next week.